No, so let's go this. So like in a office, leaders have to deal with, I guess, if you ask any layman leader, the two types of employees are the ones who are performing
Okay.
and the ones who are not.
Yes.
Okay, so how does a leader deal? For example, let's focus on high performers.
Okay.
People, by performers, I mean people who are doing their job well, producing and all that. How do leaders deal with this pool? And then we'll go to the pool
The
of
ones who are
performing well.
Okay. So there was a study done by Watson Wyatt. Okay, now it's called Tower Watson's, I think. So when they were Watson Wyatt, there's a study that they did with specifically at that point in time Gen Y. Okay, and we call them Gen Y not lah.
Okay.
Okay, and what they found was they did a survey to find out what would motivate top performers. So what you want to do is they're already performing.
Okay.
So your role right now is, of course, to get them to succeed in terms of succession planning, groom them further because they want bigger challenges, right?
Okay.
They want to grow. So what they found out was there were 10 motivators for these top performers. First four, the top four, nothing to do with money.
Okay.
Okay. So the number one motivator was they wanted to, it was what? It was developing a reputation about myself. That means they wanted to be able to be visible enough to build a reputation in that area they were doing well and to be recognized for that reputation. So I want to build a reputation for myself as an expert in this area. So I want to be good at this. So that was the number one. So if you're a leader and you have top performers there, you must find ways and opportunities to help them further improve that reputation. That means either you give them bigger projects, bigger challenges, where the satisfaction comes from me achieving results here, growing my reputation as an expert. That was number one. Number two was getting appreciated. So that one everybody, especially top performers, because I know I'm performing. One more thing people must understand, leaders need to understand, top performers know they are top performers. With sales, you can see easily from the results. But even in other areas, if they are doing 3 or 4 people's jobs, or they are the ones normally the team goes to for help, they know they're top performers. When you call them in for meetings where you have to make critical decisions as a boss, and you choose this one person from the 7 other people, they know that you look at them as a person of substance and who can help you make a decision. They know they're top performers. But if you don't appreciate them in public, then it's something which, well, they would like, but they don't get it, so that doesn't motivate them. If you give them, it motivates them. So you can say that's the peacock in everyone.
But and this is just things I've seen in my past. Is managing top performers the way to differentiate the boys from the men in terms of leaders? Because there are leaders out there who may have a very outward projection of them being this super guru, this leader. But when they are around top performers, you quickly see them becoming very dismissive or trying to put people down.
Okay.
I've seen that. These are top CEOs, like big companies. When there's a top performer around them, they get threatened. So, I mean, is that how do you navigate that situation if you are a top performer?
I mean, if I was a top performer and somebody's trying to bring me down, is it?
Yeah, you're trying to keep them at bay because the fear is that if I let him fly, he may fly higher than me.
So then you're not a leader already. That statement you made, if I let him fly, he will fly higher than me. That's already a sign you're not really a leader. Because leaders want other people to fly higher.
So what are the markers that a top performer must look out for to avoid leaders like this? Because it can be a very difficult process to go through.
I mean, okay. Now, the highest level in the company is CEO. So if you're talking about CEO, if that's your CEO, then sooner or later you have to make a decision because there's no more higher. But sometimes the middle person is that kind of person. And I normally find people at the mid-level or maybe mid to senior, some of them might be like this, that they want to just curb your wings so you don't outshine them. Okay. So my suggestion, if you're a top performer, you have to make sure you have connections to that person's boss also. Because when you have connections to that person's boss must be able to see you also. You must be visible enough, not just to your boss, but to everybody else. Because if you're visible enough, then this person cannot do much because you are obvious to everybody else. That's one. The other one is, one more way for you to still be able to fly is, you must be really an expert in that area. Because an expert in the sense where when you open your mouth, whether he or she likes it or not, people listen to you. because you know you've been there, you've done that, you've showed results, and he might disagree with you purposely because he wants to make sure it's his idea or her idea that comes out. But people know you have been there during critical times, solving critical problems that nobody else could. Now, when you speak, whether they like it or not, they will listen because you are the expert. So either you increase your expertise or you increase your visibility to other people in the organization. That's how you must navigate the corporate world, because everywhere got politics. Right? And if you unfortunately get somebody who wants to be seen as top performer, and they are also top performer because of you, you are in the team, you are helping them achieve the results. And if they don't give you the due recognition, then they're going to lose a very good performer.
No, but what are the markers that I should look out for? Because I think in this process, especially if I'm an employee, right, and I think a lot of people go through this. Not a lot, but I think there's a substantial number where they may not be a top performer. They may not have realized their potential as a top performer, but they are on the way there.
Okay.
They are young, they have potential and all that. But oftentimes, this potential gets hammered down because of people like this at the senior level management and all that. So, as a young person, what markers do I need to look out for to avoid people like this? Because yes, I understand what you're saying, that I need to enhance my expertise and all that. But that's a perfect situation. In normal situation, in reality, what happens is eventually you get either pummeled so far down that you forget that.
Okay.
And then it takes a long time to recover. Or you just resign and then you end up being like, floating around and all that. So what should I do to avoid that?
Well, one of the markers will be if this person only finds faults. There's nothing you've done which is right. So anytime there's a fault, that person doesn't take accountability. So a leader that doesn't take accountability is one flag already, red flag. Now, if you have done a good job, they don't highlight that. That's another marker. That means this person, when you screw up, they find fault, and that one they will announce to the whole world. But when you do a good job, they don't appreciate you. They don't publicly appreciate you also. So that's another red flag. Now the other thing is, so one of my clients have told me this also. They have constantly asked to learn new things. But this person, for reasons unknown to the staff, just does not allow. Does not allow, does not have a discussion also about it, does not even pay attention and put in the effort to really understand the stuff. So that means I just want you fill in that role, do the task, finish. All these other growth and all that stuff, don't talk to me. So that's another red flag. You want to do more, but this person not bothered. So you will not stay. And every time you want to communicate with them also, they are uncomfortable. So they're trying to always distance themselves. That's also another red flag. So you know that this person, this leader, either I'm not sure how to connect with this person, or I don't know how to approach this person, or maybe this person can't really take me where I want to go. That's the scenario. So if you're in a company where it's a big company, you think you can move to a different unit, after doing all that you can do with this particular person, you have tried very much, you have tried hard, you even talk to your other colleagues who are more senior, how to connect with this person. You've done all that, and still you're not getting anywhere. And you're not growing also. Then you have to make a choice. Either I move around, find, is there any other department I will do well? I'll give you another example. I had one client, and I got to know him through the training. Then we became friends, and I did personal coaching for him and coaching him to grow in his career. And this guy, naturally, you will say, is a dove and peacock. So very people-oriented. And he's in the insurance industry. Okay, in the insurance industry, managing claims. So he's in the claim department. Now, he constantly tries ways on how he can delight the customers. Because when you're doing claims in insurance, if somebody died or somebody is in the hospital and you need to do the GL and all that stuff. So a case came where it was an elderly couple and the children are not there or something for whatever reason. And the wife or the husband is trying to get the claim approved. And normally what happens sometimes is in certain companies, they try to find reasons not to approve the claim for whatever technical reason. So this guy, normally, you'll hold a lot of SOPs. Insurance companies are very owl-oriented, very SOP compliant because of Bank Negara and all that, which is good. You don't abuse them. So this guy, being the dove peacock that he is, super people-oriented. He saw this one is like, people are in their 70 plus and all that, So, okay lah. So he did not follow 100% the SOP. So he went and approved it. That's not right. But he was so afraid to go and talk to his boss about it because his boss, he told me, only finds fault with me. So even if I go there with a case like this, because there is some discrepancy the leaders can also make for these kind of cases, right? And if you see that it's possible. So for him, it was possible. But his mistake was afraid to go and approach and try to sell the case because he's always been ridiculed. He's always been scolded, and he's been scolded in public. Also, he's been scolded in front of his own staff. So how do you think he will feel in front of his own staff?
Exactly.
Correct. So finally what happened was, he said, I told my boss, after talking to you, Suresh, maybe I need to look for departments where I can deal with people a bit more, since that's my nature. So I went to the boss. Boss never recommend also. I just want you out of the company. Even keeping you in the company, I'm not interested. So he's like, wow, I'm trying to reduce your stress. Since you have an issue with me, and I think I found where I want to be, I think I will perform better there. So help me out. Also don't want to help out. Just get out of my life. So what he did finally, he left. He left and he joined his family business, which was, these Chinese herbal shops. He said, I am having the time of my life. Every day talking to people, helping them solve problems. I feel like I finally found I should have done this much earlier.
But how do you, in your experience training and coaching and all that, how do you tell a leader who is like that? And there are many leaders like that.
Yes, yes.
Right? Who, I've had a boss like that. When you tell us, oh my God, brings back horrible memories. And, they don't seem to realize that what they are doing is actually creating a situation where you make more mistakes all the time, as opposed to you if it was a less stressful environment, right?
Yeah.
How do you tell them that this is wrong, and how do they change?
Okay, good. So understanding personality makes a difference. So leaders like that, first thought for me will be, my intuition will tell me eagle owl type, right? Because it's all about task, right? And they don't see the impact of that missing human issue, correct? So for me to go to them and tell them that this is not going to work, especially for somebody who is senior, who has reached that level, very difficult, because I've reached this level. How you think? If I've been doing things wrong, I wouldn't be GM, senior GM, head of department, director, CEO. So I must bring facts and figures and numbers. So what are these facts, figures and numbers? My interviews with the staff. This is what the staff say. Majority say this. These are the different areas they feel is a challenge. And there's a pattern between all levels. So there is one particular story. So I got a lot of stories because I experienced, right? So this one particular senior GM. Because I did very well with one of the other departments, the HR got surprised. How did these people from the bottom 3 in engagement become the number 1 in a year? And they would answer emails, respond well, smile, and like, okay, we need to use Suresh for other departments. So now they introduced me to our good friend here. This one is super eagle. Very eagle and owl. So he's get it done, get it right. Right? No nonsense. Now, his staff, very different. So I came to him with all the data before I showed him the data. And the senior GM of HR is also next to him. And we're having coffee in a shop while I'm doing this very out of office environment. So I said, okay, so and so, let's say Vinod. So Vinod, thanks for coming and seeing me. So this is basically what I've done. I interviewed your staff with your managers and also focus group with your staff. So I'm going to share with you the answer. He said, okay, I think I know the answer. I said, what do you think? I'm the problem. And he can say it straightforward. And I know that I'm the problem, but that's how I am. That's why they hired me. You see? So that is the mindset. So whatever you're going to tell me, so whatever you have told me, Suresh, I already heard this so many times. But I still get jobs done. I'm paid to get jobs done. So now you're going to tell me to become more people, but my people are lazy buggers. He finds all the faults now. They don't have the right system. They're not initiative. They don't have they are very reactive. I said, okay, great, but do you want the best out of them or not? He says, yeah, but if I have to push, I have to push. So he's already very cemented in that way. So I told him very simple. And he's doing it in front of the senior GM of HR. And he's fine with it. Because these people all report direct to the same boss. The HR guy is not his boss. So he says, for me, I deliver results, my job is done. That's why I'm here. I come, I deliver results, I go. I come, I deliver results, I go. So that's the kind of person he is. So if you want him to change, it has to be change that will impact him either directly or through his KPIs. So I have to tell him, you can do this continuously, but isn't it stressful? Yeah, it is, but what to do? I have to do it. I'm used to it already. I say, what if there's another way for you to get it done without you even doing anything or doing much? You tell me how lah, you're going to do magic. So for him, that's how it is. Plus, he will say, what he will do after that is he will bring in his own people who have worked with him in other organizations that he knows he can work well with and get things done. That person also will be like him. And then the other people now have to deal with 2 people like this. You see? So what happens sooner or later to the department? Either the current people chow, or they drop into the storming stage, and some of them stay there, or he will chow. And what happened at the end? He chow. He left. Because he couldn't connect. So when you leave, and when he leaves, you ask him how? He will say hopeless organization. He will say hopeless people. They got the wrong people then they hire me to make magic. But he will not reflect. So you got some human beings like this. Yeah, so not everybody you can change. But if you can sell the idea to them.
But so sorry, because when you're saying this, reminds me this person I used to work for many years ago.
Uh-huh.
In organizations like this, I always notice one thing: they have high turnovers.
Okay.
People come, people go, right? And I remember there was one meeting we had, and he came in and he said, "I don't know why people are leaving, lah."
Mirror. Brother. Look at the mirror, lah.
Yeah.
Then
Sorry,
you will know.
God. Yeah.
And I had another client, and this is a Swedish company. And no, it's an American company, but Swedish guy. First time he became a people manager. He won an award somewhere in Sweden, and he came to Malaysia and to hold a global role. But it was a global hub. We can call it a global hub. So first 10 months in operations, he's the new head of unit or department, I think. Most of his peacocks and eagles left. And these were top performers also. So his CEO, who's a friend of mine, met up with me and says, Suresh, I've got this thing going on. Can you come and see what's going on? So I say, fine. So first thing I always do, I need data. I don't know this Swedish guy, what type of person he is. Data, whatever type, doesn't matter. No? Data speaks volumes. Opinions, you can have arguments forever. So I talked to the people, came back, found out. He came in only, he started finding fault with current systems. And sometimes the way he speaks, cultural differences. Some people here in Malaysia couldn't take it. So they left. And if you're talking about peacocks you must praise, appreciate, and it's good. You know, talk in a tactful way. So they couldn't take it. They left. The eagle said, this one only know how to find fault. My job here is to get things done, but he also has elements of eagle. And he is an owl eagle. So very detailed, but get the job done, get it right also. So the eagles also left. And we were left with all the divs. So in my interviews also, I have to bring a tissue box, because the ladies will be crying and saying we expected him to be a boon and a plus point and a bonus to help us solve problems, but he is only making things worse for us. And I'm wondering why I didn't leave with the other people who left earlier. The guys in the meeting could not even see me eye to eye because the confidence was shattered, But when I talked to him, so I talked to him earlier before I talked to his people. So my method is always I will hear what the leaders have to say first. And they will give me their point of view. Then I must listen to the people lah. So he told me, I try so many times, Suresh, to reach out. They don't speak up. They don't talk. They don't share. And I don't know why. So many times we have 1 hour per week per person. I will do a coaching session, but they don't want to come also. I'm like, really? You're doing all this? They don't want to come. What's going on? So I go and talk to the people. The one-on-one session, you can know what's happening. All the mistakes. Why you're not changing? Who asked you to do this again? Denial. So it becomes very one way. So when we met up again, the CEO is there and the head of department is there. So the CEO asked me one very interesting question. He's also very straight with me. So Suresh, who should I fire? First question. Because you've met my people, you've met my leader, my HOD. Who should I sack? Who should I fire? So immediately I said, him, the Swedish guy. The Swedish guy got a shock of his life. The CEO got a shock of his life. He said, what? Why? I said, well, if nobody is following you, who are you leading? So he was like, what do you mean? I said, this is what they have told me. I've met this number of people and a huge majority of people have mentioned these things. It's a pattern they experience with you. But you're telling me another story. So there is a misalignment somewhere. We need to trash this out. We need to come together to see what can we do so that this changes. So after that, we did a 3-day, 2-night session. And we trashed things out, man. Let me tell you. But good thing about the Swedish guy is, here you also see a mark of a potential good leader. This was his first people manager role. right? So he was not head of department, head of unit, I think. And he was very open to feedback.
I see.
So you see, okay, that case, I can see this guy potential. So they give it to him, in their dove way. Right? Doves don't really give it to you, but they tell you, Okay, at least they tell you. So, but he could receive it. And one of the participants, on behalf of all the other doves, spoke up, and I facilitate the session so that it's not uncomfortable or awkward. He's like the speaker of the parliament.
Okay.
But here I have a better role. Okay. So he received it, and then he shared his expectations. So they shared their expectations, and we came to a conclusion of a few things they will do together. And the good thing is this, I always follow up with my client. 1 month later, I met up with him and I asked him, so how? What's going on? He said, honestly, I'm surprised because people who never want to come and talk to me, now they come and talk to me about their career aspirations, their goals. They open up now because, I don't know, I maybe that session let them see that I'm receptive and I really want, but maybe my approach was wrong. So he said, I should have done this 10 months ago. So I asked him this interesting question. I said, before you came to Malaysia, don't you have some cultural sensitivity training? He says, yes, we do. I said, so what did they tell you about Malaysians?
I can't wait to hear this.
So he said, the people, and these are Europeans, okay? Telling this Swedish dude, when you go to Malaysia and work, you want to get the best out of your people, you need to go out and have food with them. You have to eat with them.
That's true.
You have to connect with them. All right? So Malaysians, for them, relationship, very important. And it's not just any relationship. It's get to know them, So easiest way is makan lah, in Malaysia, right? So they say, go out, chit chat, non-office stuff, coffee shop, whatever. But do that. So I said, so did you do that? No. I said, why not? He says, I have a 2-year contract. I come here, 2-year placement. I come here, I'm expected to change all these things. So I go straight and I start running. But nobody is running with me because I did not connect with them. So that's my mistake. So I thought doing that will take too much time. I said, no, you can do that. At the same time, run. But at least you're holding hands and running. Now you're not running. You're not holding hands. So he said, yeah, that's the mistake. So I also learned, okay, so they actually have cultural sensitivity training and they know that in this region of the world, relationships everywhere, but especially ASEAN, And if you look at the statistics of types of personalities in the world, 69% of the world is deaf.
Really?
69% of all people in the world are basically deaf. So some countries more, some less. But on average, 7 out of 10 people have the number 1 on their score, deafs. People don't look for conflicts. They don't look for fights. People want to work together in a team. Everybody wants that. 7 out of 10 people put that as a high priority. A lot of people are very uncomfortable, especially in ASEAN. So if you look at Malaysia, you will say, yeah, we will go and mogo, we'll go and make noise one day. After that, go back to work. You can wear whatever color t-shirt you want, but that's one day. Then you go back.
I'm only giving you one day.
Yes, that's it. Don't change? Okay, fine, life goes on. What to do?
So that means like just on the part of the low performance you talked about just now.
The high performance. So with high performance, there are 4, right? So the first one was reputation. Number 2 was appreciation. Number 3 is importance of work. You must give me work that challenges me. You must not give me work that any other clown can do. I'm a top performer, no? If you give me normal work, it doesn't challenge me. I feel that you don't see my capabilities. So if I prove myself a bit, give me more challenging work. And if I know how this work impacts the corporate world or impacts the business, and it's an important impact or high impact, I feel important. Because you've given that to me. You could have given it to anybody else, but you give it to me. That means you trust me. So that's number 3. Number 4 is recognition. That means actual, not money, That means top employee, best employee, those kind of things. So these 4. So these are all without money. You can praise, you can appreciate, you can give them work which builds their reputation, skills and training and all that makes a difference also. You recognize them, even simple announcement. One of these IBM leaders once upon a time, was it IBM or American Express? I can't remember. He once a quarter or something will go down from his office to the certain floors, right, with a checkbook. And from what he has heard and seen, he will write down immediately $5, $10, $20 checks and give the staff immediately. And he says none of the checks were cashed. They frame it and keep it on their desk. Direct appreciation recognition from CEO, who I see once a quarter. I will see in town halls, but he comes and he gives me personally because he heard of the things I've done. I never even knew he knew it, but he does that. And they never cashed it. Nobody cashed it. He never knew. Another example I give you, Amex, also my client. And they, I think when I was training them, I think 9 times or 9 or 7 times in a row, top employer. And during my training session, I had some Finnish people, some Asian people, some from ASEAN, also from Europe in my class. And suddenly, out of nowhere, a group of GMs barge into the room. I said, Suresh, sorry, we have to just interrupt for a while. Today is customer day. I said, oh, okay. And they started giving their staff chocolates, small square chocolates. And I asked them, what is this? No, this is what we give to our staff. I said, but you say it's customer day. Yeah, they are my customer. So the leaders see themselves as the provider, and the staff getting the job done is their customer. I must make sure my internal customer is happy, so they make my external customer happy. Different mindset, so these are what top performers want.
No, so back to that, because just now you talked about how after your training or your meeting with the staff, then the boss asked you who.
So I said the boss lah.
Okay, right. So who must I fire? So when it comes to low performers, right? Should companies invest in them or should they cut them?
Low performers, you must find out why they're performing low. Because if you go back to the 4 phases, nobody joins the company to not perform. Everyone wants to grow. But if you put me in the wrong place and you don't equip me with the right tools, I will not perform. And then you keep on scolding me, not helping me solve the problem, then how do I perform? Also,
but are there people, I mean, I'm sure you must have come across them as well. There are people who are just very happy where they are.
Yes, you're right.
They because they don't want to grow nothing. How does the company deal with that?
Okay, so you got 2 types of people in that category. One is they are getting the job done. So you talk about KPI, performing. But I don't want to go higher. I have one client like this also. Okay, and this was a particular international bank. And all the bosses come and tell me, Suresh, you're going to train them. This one particular girl, she is just fantastic. She's been in the bank for 15 years. Please get her to accept a promotion to executive level, management level. Now she's in officer level, okay? So I said, really, yeah? She don't want? No, she doesn't want. And how many times you've tried? So I go and talk to her. She said, I know you're going to ask me to go for the promotion. I said, what makes you say that? Everybody has tried. All failed. So I said, okay, tell me then why not? Okay, Suresh, when I look at my senior executive manager's life, I don't like that life. Why I don't like that life? Because they go back home late. And they cannot claim overtime also. I go back late. I work extra 4 hours. I get extra 4 hours overtime. In fact, let me tell you, I earn more than my executive and second executive and senior executive.
Okay.
And I have no issues because when there's a mistake, I don't get scolding also. They have to face the music. I just do my job. My job is very simple. I'm an expert in my job. In fact, any new person comes in, I am the one training them whatever level they are. And so they come to me. So I already have a sense of importance. People see me as the go-to person. And I just follow instructions and I do a good job. Customers also like me. And I earn more than an exec and senior exec.
There's no reason to get promoted.
Why on earth will I want to get promoted?
Yeah.
Correct or not? And I go at manager level. Then also how many years I have left? Only 10 years. I'm not going to become manager. So I become executive, senior executive, no more overtime. More accountability. I have to learn new things. The expertise here now, I will end up still doing the other people's job because I'm still the expert. I rather sit down here peacefully and retire. So what do you do with this person? That's the person. Make sense? So there's only so much you can do.
So you just said, okay, I'm done.
So with this kind of people, we say they don't want to have a vertical move, right? So maybe what you can do is there are 3 options. Always 3 options for jobs. Job enrichment, vertical move, lateral move. She's already there, so she's very happy. She doesn't want to do any vertical move, don't want to go up. Lateral move, maybe you can explore a few more things, but not too much because she'll say no. But if you really need it, then you have to tell her. But majority is still what you're doing. But I need you to also learn this because the world is changing, right? So that one she can do. So you must give her a bit of additional stuff where she has to also learn. Correct? Or if she feels, I think I don't want all this, okay, and then maybe vertical move, but vertical move off. So she has to balance. Or one more is job enrichment. In whatever you're doing right now, then add on to that, become the trainer. Maybe do something in that line, become a trainer, start writing SOPs for it. Start organizing that. So you lead in a particular way, but still at that level. She already reached maximum salary. There's not much more she can go up. Unless she takes management role. But overtime is there already. So why do I need to bother? I want to earn more, I work more. I'm very fine, I enjoy life. I have very good work-life balance, Suresh. So why? So that becomes a challenge. And she is not going to change company. She's very comfortable. So you have people like this. There are also clients I've met where they've not gotten the best people in. They've gotten people just to fill in the position because that particular job does not require a lot of critical thinking or decision making. So they get these kind of people and then they will just do their own style, own speed. Yeah. So with this kind of people, if you've got the person who does not have that capacity, then you train them up. But you also have to motivate them. You have to make sure they have goals. So non-performers, sometimes they become too complacent. So what you must do is this. You must ask them what is their actual goal. So you have to go a little bit into your own personal drive. What excites you? How can we create environments here to excite you? What is your actual goal? Most of them will not have any goals. My goal, make sure my kids finish to studying, pay for this one. That's my goals. Okay. If there's a way to make it easier for you, would you want to explore? There are a few things I have in mind for you. So I want to see what would attract you the most. So you have to connect. As a leader, sit down, have that conversation with them. So people who are at a particular level of thinking have not thought about their own life. If you ask when I say this in the class, so some of them, I ask them this. Let's say your kid, so I go into the family a bit. So I give them a scenario. Let's say your kid asks you this. Dad or ayah or papa or whatever lah. My friend's father now driving this car. I saw him driving our car last time, when we were in standard 1. Now I'm in form 2. The father, now the house is bigger. When are we going to have a bigger house?
Ooh, okay.
What are you going to say? Or then they all like, never thought about it. Because your kids are also growing up with other kids. And they are seeing other people's family also grow. Why are we still stuck? So that affects them because that's personal. So when you hit certain nerves like that, then so as a leader, you are a leader of your house. What examples are we sending to our kids? So those kind of things, And some people get connected to religious stuff, but I cannot do that lah. But some people they do. They have actually religious courses that use that sentiment, and for some people it works lah. For some people, who are you to tell me about all those kind of things, right? So you have to connect that person's individual goal to the company's goal. So you have to try to find and show them the dots. Some people cannot see the dots. You can put the big dot in front of the face. They still cannot see the dots. So our job as leaders also is to try to see how I can align their individual goals to company goals. You can align, fantastic, my friend.
Just one more. You talked about team building sort of thing, right? You talked about just now a 3 days, 2 nights thing you did to bring people together. I've always wondered, does team building as an exercise for a company, does it really have an impact on a company in the terms of long term?
Okay. A lot of companies ask the same question. And all depends, because the word team building, I think, is used, overused, abused.
Yeah. And it's sort of a synthetic environment because after that, when you go back to the office, it's still the same environment.
Correct. So I call it a steroid jab. Steroid jab. For some people, it's also a reward.
Yeah.
So what I tell my clients is you have different types of team building for different phases in the team development. And in my company, we have 4 levels. Okay. So you've got team bonding. So you got people, you want them to continue to connect, you have team bonding. So that normally we'll say do a 1 day. Don't do and spend 2 days, 1 night, all waste money. And if you want that, don't choose me. I will give you my number 2, number 3, number 4 trainer. Okay, you go there, have fun, come back. All right. Some lessons, team activity, we debrief. So you learn something lah. You have to learn something, right? If not, what's the point? Then you just go and do your holiday. But people want to use their HRDC, all these things all. So we don't like you just do for the sake of doing. If you want bonding, I will not come. My trainer will come. We will do programs for you, activity for you. There will be lessons for you. And people, most important, they bond. Okay, done. So that actually helps. Because I never knew you. Who is Vinod? Always email only. Now I see Vinod. Okay. All right. And then we do activities together, we create memories together. So we are not going to be the same as if the team building did not happen. So that will stay. Because I know you now. I know you differently. So that will stay. So team building is good. But that's bonding. Second level team building, what we do is, and bonding is very good for forming stage. Right? So second level is storming stage team building. My third level is for storming stage. Second level is where the company is very clear where it's moving, and the department is wants to focus on certain things. So they'll tell me, okay, Suresh, we want to do team building on customer centricity. So all the activities are geared that way. Or we want to groom these people to become better leaders. So the theme is leadership.
Okay.
So that will work. But it must be content which is, it will have certain elements of seriousness. But 50% probably is games, activities and all that. But all geared towards that. And there will be certain leadership type of modules to bring that home. So that one is level 2. Right? Very specific team building. Level 3 is what I call real work. This is team building that really talks about what's going on right now and which will last for a long time and actually produces results and changes things in companies. And I don't like doing that if that's my first engagement with a company.
Why?
Because they're in a storming stage. And if you're doing bonding for storming stage, then you say correct, steroid job. You know, they go for holiday and all that, enjoy life. Come back, still storming. Nothing really much changes because the problems are not rectified.
Yeah.
So level 3, I get people to thrash things up. So like with these ones. Right? So we have activities. So you warm up. I'm comfortable with you. Now and time to thrash things out, a bit easier to thrash things out. But if it's the first time I'm meeting you, right? Then you remember Suresh as the guy that made that happen. The thrashing and the emotion was here and all that. So I don't feel so nice. But if people already know me and then say, now we have this problem, can you come and help us? Then they see the Suresh which is in that mode. But I also know Suresh can be another mode. So because after this mode, when you solve problems already, and they say, okay, let's do another team building this year, let's ask for Suresh. Oh, that kind of team building again. So we had that kind of scenario recently. And the CEO came and told me, hey, some departments are scared of you. I say, why? Then you're going to trash them up left and right. So I said, because that particular department came for level 3. So when we did again a bonding or we did a level, we did bonding we did level 2, focus on certain areas. We didn't have the thrashing out. He said, quite fun also. So most companies do team building level 1, level 2. So fun, all that. But if level 2, you don't structure it properly, you don't attack certain key points. Right? And then it will fade off. But level 3, yes, action plans. There is activity owners. There is timelines. Okay. All that comes out. Everything is agreed upon. That's level 3. Level 4 is what I call survivor. This one, a select few companies have done it. And when do they do this? When, what is this? They do this when, two scenarios. Where if the company is really sinking, really going to collapse, and they need to give everybody a kick in the butt, then they will do survivor. If you can survive this program, you have what it takes to go through the real life. Number 2 is you're already very strong. You're very, very strong. And now what's the next level for you? So see whether we can challenge you in a way which you never challenged before. So we do that also. So that one you wake up at 6 in the morning, sleep 2 in the morning. 4 hours is very military style. I charge extra high because my blood pressure also increased.
Sounds like fun.
Sounds yes. But okay, this is what happens. At the end of the program, they will come and hug and cry and tell me, the next program, can we join you as facilitators?
Could that be Stockholm Syndrome? You have abused them to the point they are not.
Maybe, correct. But there is one company, right, that I did this and we had several batches. It's already 15 years. They still call me. They don't call me, they know my name. But in that program, I wear the hat of a customer.
Okay.
And I have a pirate hat. The moment I wear that with the pirate logo there, I am the customer. I'm a ruthless customer. If I take that out, now trainer mode. So even in the program, they see me wear, they all become very scared. The moment I remove, they come and chit-chat with me. So it's like as if already programmed. So these people, 15 years later, still on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, they call me Mr. Customer.
Okay.
And if they're watching, they know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I say, y'all know me, what? No lah, Suresh. We just we cannot forget that experience because those experiences change their life. And they brag about it to all new joiners. Oh, you didn't go for this one. This one really, we kena hantam and all that. And we came together as a team. We were so strong. And their GM, super football fan. Manchester United lah, your gang lah.
Of course.
Okay? Of course.
No wonder he's a GM.
Oh, look at that. Okay. He had tears in his eyes. Because he said, I actually, when they accomplished the task you gave them, Suresh, and because it was a task they have to repeatedly do until they're perfect. So I will scold, I will scold continuously like like nobody's business. And some of them will call the HR and say, I want to go home. But I have already prepared all this with the bosses and say, this is going to happen. They are going to freak out. They're going to say, this is not possible. We cannot. So it's going to.
What do you do to them?
Exactly. Level 4. Not everybody can go through, let me tell you. The ones that are, the company is crazy, totally down there, and then you do this one, this is when the men and the boys get separated. So in the program, you'll see who are the men, who are the boys. Because if the company is going to continue after this, you don't want the boys, you want the men. So that program will filter.
Has anyone fought back with you? Or?
Oh, many times. One guy threw things at me. That kind of level. There is one girl who said, I want to slap you in front of the group CEO.
Told you?
Yeah, in front of everybody. So that is, and I cannot anticipate this will happen. Anything can happen.
So what do you do to them that makes them?
So I do lah. But after that same girl who said I want to slap you came to me on the third last day and said, can I hug you? So it's very different because they will go through. So you have to put them through forming, storming, norming, performing. They must experience all the 4 to see that they can achieve that. So no matter what target I give you, how environment is hopeless in the world. You got tariffs, no tariff, war, no war. You got Hormuz, no Hormuz, whatever you want. You got Prime Minister constantly changing. What do you do? So when they go through that and they feel there's no way out because they're stuck with me for 3 days and 2 nights and their leaders are saying, go. Either you drown or you swim. And then they realize actually they can swim. That gives a different level of confidence. And whenever you are down, you remember I did that. And we even do that for university students or fresh grads who join the corporate world. Wow. And you will see there itself who are the ones that really have the leadership potential inside, who will stand up. There was one guy who told me before this program, Suresh, I think he was 23 years old, first job. I was always in a rut, in a hole. People will make fun of my name. People will make fun of the way I look. But suddenly when I was chosen to become leader in this game, I came to a point where I was going to give up already. But because of the way it is structured, I realized I can do it. And then when the project succeeded, because I will make sure it succeeds, if you have to repeat it, I don't care until what time at night. Sometimes 7, 8 o'clock at night, no. When they're supposed to finish at 5. And this one company, they were going to call AirAsia to reschedule the flights. Because half of them had to go back to Indonesia. It was a mixture of people. And they said, Suresh, please don't reduce on the intensity of your scolding. Do not compromise on the quality of your rules. If we have to change the flights, we will change the flights. Oh, that's how committed the company, because they could see from the earlier batches. So this guy, and I said, you just heard, flights are going to be changed. You better figure it out. So they have to keep on thinking how to solve this problem, how to solve it. It's a physical, mental problem. They have to do it themselves, and they cannot do it unless they come together as a team.
I see.
And when he was able to do that, immediately the confidence in him, and everybody else looked at him that you are the man. And this is a new person. He said, I am now out of the hole. And if not for this program, I would have still been in that hole. So if I only change one person's life, and if that is the person, I think okay lah. So that is survivor. So team building, everybody does team building. And there's so many companies out there. And some of them do a great job. But if you are a company looking for team building, ask yourself, what is your main goal? Bonding, yeah, okay, fine. Even the hotels have their own HRDC people right now who will give you a cheaper price. People are saying, you're kicking yourself in the stomach. No, but for me, if you're going to do bonding, For me, I will not do. My company we will do, but I will send somebody else lah. But if they want me to do, then I will not. I want to make a difference.
Basically, torture them.
Torture is one, but now that also I really selectively choose because I'm not as young as I used to be.
I see.
So it takes a lot sometimes to release my stress. You know what I do? I will do push-ups on the spot in front of them because I have to distract myself from the anger because I will really be in the role. So I'm the customer. I want them to understand the pain the customer goes through. It can be any business. I pay money, you promise me the sun and the moon, and then this is the kind of service you give me. And you expect, because you're a big company, you think what? So I want to give them that experience.
Interesting. No, I'm really curious. Maybe we can sign
Hopefully
up.
the listeners are also curious.
Yeah.
But that is survivor, selective, and it's you can forget about 100% claim for HRDF lah. Because it's much more.
Okay.
It's much more because it takes a lot out of me and it gives a lot to the participants. So I now selectively choose, and for clients who really want to do that. If they don't want to do that, there's so many other things you can do. But survivor is really survivor. You can survive this program, let me tell you. Many problems in life, you can survive lah.
Okay.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Suresh, for the first topic. The first episode is done now on leadership. My goodness. If you guys want to sign up for this torture camp, that is a team building activity,
Yes.
the links will be in the description. So contact Suresh and, man, if you dare.
Yes.
So,
But so far,
yeah.
100% attend.
Any injuries or not? Injuries or?
Injuries is part of life, man. No, so
Now I really want to go, man. What the hell?
so touch wood. So wood right now.
Wood.
Okay, good. So 100% come, 100% leave.
Okay.
Of course, but in terms of there is one particular scenario. This is where that guy who I told you, Manchester United, he said he felt like the team won I remember once MU won, I think all the 4 main trophies.
Treble. The three
The
trophies.
treble, right?
Treble,
Okay.
yeah.
He felt that way, he said. And there is this one time we had with that same company where I actually had tears in my eyes. And my wife was there also helping me, assisting me. My team members also had tears in their eyes. And a lot of the team members who saw their the leader of the project also had tears in their eyes. So this is tears because he actually had before the program started, he actually was not in the peak of health. Okay. So he had some bone issue, whatever it is. And in the office, real life, he was not seen as a performer. He was seen as average. And then people would do whenever there's a critical job or there's a problem, they will say, don't go to him, nothing will happen. So something happened in the office. I don't know the details. But later he told me something like this happened, Suresh. So my confidence level was very low. Now, in that program, this particular activity, there will be one leader. But that leader got scolding so many times from me that he chose to withdraw from becoming the leader anymore.
Okay.
So he says, I cannot. I think I'm not good, So that also can happen in the program, right? So, and the leaders all, I tell the leaders all earlier, the bosses who decide, that this program will show you who are the people that you want to further focus on, who are the people who maybe we have to work in certain areas, either it's confidence or whatever it is. Because when the leader is chosen in the activity, they have no clue what they're going to go through. And so, some people are not ready to lead. So this person was able to take the challenge earlier, but he has realized or she has realized this is too much stress. Okay? So that also can happen in the class, in the program. So with that person, then we know, so there's so much we can do. In the real world, you will not go through what I'm doing with them. Right? So that means there's always opportunity. But when
does it take place in some outward bound school?
Yeah, it's something, not outward bound school, but it's team building outdoor. So you will go through
just give me one activity.
Cannot. This is trade secret. KFC formula, Coke formula. No, cannot. So hold on, wait. So this guy, when I said but the project has to end. If not, you will be the first group that will go home failing. So he picked up his hand. So this guy who in the office was seen as a non-performer picked up his hand. He said, I will try. Everybody looked at this guy. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? He said, I will do it. Okay, give me a chance. So actually, in real life, he always wanted that, but nobody was giving him a chance because maybe some mistake he would have made. So he thought maybe I can prove myself here. So give me a chance. So he actually took charge. He took charge, and he overexerted himself. He already has a condition, but he overexerted himself. Overexerted himself until I think he had some pain in his back or pain in his leg or something. I can't remember exactly where, but he refused to leave. So for us, safety is number one. And we always have this disclaimer or disclosure and all that. You must let us know all your issues. And this clown didn't tell us lah. But later, as the activity is going on, we start to see his face change. So I go to him, I say, "Are you okay?" He says, "Yeah, I'm okay. I said, "No, you must tell me. We will pause. We will change leader. Your safety is number one." So we will keep on saying that. No, I'm okay. But actually, he's not okay. So what happened at the end was he actually, I think he couldn't stand anymore. So he grabbed roots of the trees around and refused to leave the activity. And we were all like, "What's going on?" I said, no, come on. Take him out. So they were like trying to catch him and trying to hold him. And
where was this taking place?
This was in PD lah. So it was outdoor lah. We have a certain kind of area.
I'm trying to figure out.
So but there are trees. So we need trees for the activity. So he was holding on to trees. Don't want people to separate him from the activity because there's a particular border we make for the activity. So you have to be in there lah. He doesn't want to leave. So I told the GM, go and tell him to leave. So he said, "I'm not leaving." So we said, okay, now this is a bit too much already. So for me also first time. But he's still okay. He's not okay. It's just, he was too tired, too much of stress on the body. And he did not want to stop. So we called the hotel ambulance, put him in the ambulance. I don't know how is this sounding on the video. You all decide later. Yeah. Okay. But, and he sat in the ambulance. And they're going to take him just to go and check everything is okay or not. Very important lah. So he still can walk and all that. But when he sat down and he was lying down on the seat in the ambulance, I told him, okay, so you go, get yourself checked out. Very important. Don't worry about activity. So then some of the other team members say, okay, don't worry, you just take care. So he actually shouted something from the inside of the ambulance. So he said in Malay, he said, "Jangan hampakan aku." Oh, like that lah, Kita kena buat sebagai pasukan, jangan hampakan aku. So he said that, the team, half of the ladies all cried on the spot. Because seeing his commitment. He said aku, maybe it's him, but then he said pasukan kita. Jangan hampakan aku. As a leader, jangan hampakan diri kita sebagai pasukan. Okay, I think lah. Everybody were like, suddenly you see, already tired, 3 days doing the same thing. Okay, so they are tired. They didn't sleep enough. Then they got one person in that scenario. And the moment that happened, the whole team gel like you don't know what happened to them. Alright, they gel. I started watering already. The GM stopped for a while and this guy who everybody labeled as non-performing, he's put himself in that situation and he's thinking about the team and thinking about his leadership, because if he fail, I failed again, and I cannot afford to fail. So he came back. They said, no, everything okay, but it's just maybe muscle soreness and all that. So that's the issue lah. So I asked him, why did you go through all that? Then he said, because people in the office, that's the time he said, people in the office think I'm not interested, think I'm a non-performer, because yes, I made mistakes in the past, but after that mistake, I tried so many times to take on roles, to take on projects. Nobody gave me a chance. Nobody, even my own managers never gave me a chance. I thought this will be my opportunity to show you I have what it takes to lead. So everybody was like, okay. And of course, they succeeded. So his plan and structure was implemented, even though he was not there. So he succeeded. But the commitment he put in.
Okay.
So if you talk about injury, probably that was the worst. But it was muscle issues. The bone, of course, is a bit slim, a bit small size. So maybe too much of, what shall I say? Only thing I can tell you is too much of carrying.
So you're blaming him for the torture that you imposed on him.
But
what a leader.
We always give them a choice. We always say safety first. So he was that only scenario. The others, if you talk about injury, the emotions were injured. That one 100%. And that's my objective.
So by the way, just a disclaimer, sign up at your own discretion. Risk. We are not involved in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pay me to torture you.
Yeah. So guys, that was episode 1. We're finally done, and more episodes coming your way. So again, please share your thoughts in the comment section. Please share these clips and share your thoughts, and we'd love to hear from you. Again, Suresh's links will be in the description, so do get in touch with him when you can. Take care, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.
All right. Thank you.